Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Our lesson today is going to be part of units, and specifically the conversion of units between a metric and imperial, and within metric itself. From a GCSE point of view, we're looking at picking up a few marks in each paper. You know, the end of question, you might have to give your answer in centimetre rather than inches. And you know, you're only 1 mark or 2 marks, but they make such a difference at the end of the day. What we'll start with is look at what the difference is between metric and imperial, and then how we convert between them. Alright, so you can see we've got a list that we're going to create of metric on the left and imperial on the right. When we're talking about length, now length, you would typically measure something small in centimetres. Now centimetres would be a metric unit. If we wanted an imperial equivalent, it would be inches. Okay, so we're measuring something small, okay, the length of it, centimetres metric, or it could be millimetres, we'll put that in as well, and then inches for the imperial. You know, you could also have feet for something slightly bigger. If we wanted a longer distance, maybe distance from here to Bangor or something like that, we would then go for miles or kilometres. Okay, miles is your imperial, whereas kilometres would be your metric. Okay, miles tend to be more old-fashioned. We've adapted the metric slowly. If we wanted to measure weight, if we wanted something relatively light, we would go for grams typically. Something heavier, kilograms. And then the imperial, well, we're going to stick with pounds for that. Something heavy would be stones. Okay, LBS, sorry, is pounds. And stones for something heavier. We've also got tons for both as well. We could also have a volume. So if we're thinking of a bottle of drink, we would typically measure that in litres or millilitres, which is your metric. Okay, so litres or mLs for volume. The imperial equivalent of that would be pints. Okay, or gallons. Okay, so that tells us the difference between the two, right? And you know, they might ask you for which one of these is imperial or metric, and you would have to say. Okay, so do make sure you know the difference between them. Okay, next, what we'll just go through is the metric. Now within the metric, so we're talking kilometres to metres to centimetres to millimetres and so on. So just to make a list of them, you are going to have to remember these 4 exam time, I'm afraid. Okay. I will give you hints of how we can remember as we go through them. So first we've got the 1 kilometre to how many metres, and the key is in the K. Okay, and it's the same for the kilograms to grams. Think of money. If I give you a K of money, you'd be getting 1,000. So kilometre is 1,000 metres, or a kilogram is 1,000 grams. Think of the K. Meters, centimetres. How many centimetres in a metre? Hopefully you said 100. And again, the key there is the C, the centi, century. Okay, think centi, century. Finally, we've got the centimetres to millimetres. Have a look at your ruler. Millimetres, the little lines between each centimetre, and there's 10 of them. Okay, you might think the millimetres, the mil is 1,000, but that's how many millimetres in a metre, which we don't tend to use these days, because you go millimetres to centimetres and then to metres. Okay, and then lastly we've got the litres into millilitres. And again, there's where the meal comes in. Okay, if you understand Welsh, meal is 1,000. So this is 1,000 litres. 1,000 millilitres in a litre. Okay. And finally, this last one, sorry, it should be a little cube there. You will need to know how to work out centimetres cubed. Now, when we're working out volume, we typically have measurements in centimetres. Therefore, our volume will come out in maybe 200 centimetres cubed. If we want to convert into litres, we need to know this conversion. And they love this question in the exam. You need to know it's 1,000. Okay, think of the 3 in the top. Okay, think of this 3 zeros. Okay, and that's how you remember it's 1,000. Okay, final bit we're going to do. I'm going to put some questions up on the board. Video's going to pause. You're going to try them out. Okay, look at these conversions. Have a think. Try and have that feel. Let me do one example for you. So let's say we want to convert. Let's go for 650 grams into kilograms. Now what I suggest here is you first of all write down the conversion in the exam. So in this case we want kilograms to grams. Well, I know my conversion is 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. A bit like we were doing the exchange rate, I'm going to write the more or less on each side. So grams has a bigger value, so there's more grams, and the 1 kilogram, the 1 is less, so the kilogram side should be less. Just go through that again. The kilogram has a 1 on it, so that's a lesser number than the gram, which is 1,000. So less kilograms, more grams. We want to convert 650 grams into kilograms. Now we've just said the kilograms should be a lesser value. So I'm going to be dividing, right? Most of the time, when you want a less number, you divide. Not always, but most. So all we're going to do is divide by 1,000, okay? Do that on a calculator, and you got 0.65 kilograms. Okay? Or 0.650 kilograms, same thing. Okay, so write down the conversion, have a feel for which one's bigger or less, divide or times by that conversion rate, and let's see how you get on. So video's going to pause now, try these 4, enter your answers, and then we'll go over them. Okay, so you've had time to answer them. For each one I'm going to start by writing the conversion. So centimetres to metres, we have 1 metre is 100 centimetres. The centimetres are a bigger value. Okay, there's more of them, and there's less of these. So my metres are less, my centimetres are more. We want 750 centimetres into metres. We've just said the metre side is going to be less, so I'm going to divide by the 100. My answer will be 7.5 metres. Okay, well done if you got that one right. Let's go again. B, litres to millilitres. We know 1 litre is 1,000 millilitres. So let's write more or less. Millilitres are more because there's 1,000 of them. The litres are less, there's only 1 of them. We want to convert 9.4 litres. Well, we've just said the millilitres need to be more, therefore we're going to multiply by the 1,000. And you will get 9,400 millilitres. Let's rinse and repeat. Kilograms to grams. We know 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Let's do the more or less. There's more grams, right? There's 1,000 of them. And there's less kilograms, only 1 of them. We want 0.8 kilograms into grams. Okay, so grams we said were more, so we're going to multiply by the 1,000, the conversion. That will give you 800 grams. Well done if you got that right. Last one, millimetres to centimetres. I know that 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres. Let's do the more or less. We've got 10 millimetres, which is more, to 1 centimetre, 1 which is less. We want to convert 510 millimetres. We will enter centimetres, which we said are less. So we're going to divide by the conversion, which is 10, to give me 51 centimetres. Well done if you got that one right. We'll move on to the next video, and that will be imperial into metric. Okay, hopefully that one made some sense to you.